How you doing? It's Judge Lynn. And I'm walking backwards with an expanded view of the home. Because someone got up at 4 o'clock this morning and went on a cleaning spree of some note. My phone's not supposed to be over there. And I'm proud of myself. So I'm taking a slow trip. Those are the dog bowls. Even the dog area is like not whoop. Well, I can't whip like it. And my lawn is lush. Let's see if I can show you my lush lawn. Is there a lot? Well, I don't know what's going on out there. So don't get carried away. Look at that. Look at that. I got a fire extinguisher and a fire blanket over there. That's how much faith I have in my culinary abilities. I even rolled it into my thinking room. This is where I do all my thinking. There's my books and everything. Doing my thinking. There's the only real piece of artwork I have. Nobody in the house likes it but me. And then, okay, all the books, right? Then the favorite spot on the wall. This is my father's certificate showing that he was a member of the Ohio State Bar. And this is my certificate saying that I am a member of the Ohio State Bar. His is above mine because it should be. He lifted me up, but for him, no me. Another one of my but-for brothers. But for him, no me. 1948, 1984. It's a nice little switch of the numbers, isn't it? But yes, indeedy bitty. Now we're going in here. You ain't gonna get no expanded view of this room. Ooh, I gotta turn on the light and everything. Hang on. Hang on. I got so excited about showing you my house, I forgot to turn my light on. So how y'all doing? How you doing? Do you know these two have a thing going on? Did you see that? Did you just see that? They had 3 fights yesterday. And I don't know if Decker has decided he is no longer up for Zora being in charge or what, but they've been really getting into it. And Decker got on her so bad that sometimes she's afraid to come in the room with him. So I got to figure that out. Because I can have that. I love both my babies. I don't want no derision and all this kind of nonsense. I don't need it. So I had some comments that I wanted to respond to. The first one was from the young lady yesterday. So this is what I did. I read her whole email, and then I made some presumptions. I just presumed she was a widow because she spoke so eloquently of her pain in a way that reflected mine. I did what you should never do. I got 90 cents. I got $1 worth of opinion out of 10 cents worth of information. And the 90 cents worth of stupid that wasn't right. Now, and she wasn't mad about it or nothing. She said it was enough. And then she explained to me what she had gone through. And I am explaining to you because I can't be putting her business out like that. I just thought, she was. But anyway, and I appreciated that. And I appreciated y'all's response to how upset I got. And, I try not to cry on here. I try not to do anything like that. I try to be upbeat, poppy, all of that. But yesterday, between that and do you remember the group Skylark and the song, oh Lord, maybe it's called She's a Lady? Wildflower. That's what it's called, Wildflower. And I was playing it. I wasn't paying attention. What I was doing was, I have a playlist. I have several playlists, but one playlist I have is I start out in the mood that I'm in, and I work my way up to a better mood. So I start out with some sad stuff, it's like Fire and Rain by James Taylor. I've seen Fire and Rain. I've seen it 1 time. I always thought I'd see you again, and I had Wildflower on there. and I don't know, I had switched it up or something. And then the whole point is, and then you go to a popular song, then a popular song, then a popular song, and then you end up with Sly and the Family Stone, Loose Booty or something. We and rocking and popping, but the beat gets faster. The melody gets different, the words get different, so it gathers up your mood and walks it someplace else bit by bit, because what I had discovered was I was doing things that were difficult for me to do, but that I should have done, but it's kind of complicated out. I haven't really worked it out yet, but the refugee thing. I started volunteering with the refugees, and I enjoy the people, but the work is not conducive to the way I think. It's tedious, and so I have these competing needs, and I'm upset that I'm agitated even in the course of helping. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think I might find another way to help that doesn't necessarily agitate me, and then I can do this help and then that help. And it's funny because some guy, I'm quite sure he meant this to be snarky, but I believe he's absolutely right. And he said, instead of just sitting here, absorbing the love or absorbing something, not your kindnesses, but my ego or whatever, you should go out and help other people, and that's how you feel better. And he's absolutely right about that. Helping other people does make me feel better. And when I first started with the refugees, I remember the first class, because the guy was a little mean, and I kept coming, and I kept coming, and I kept coming, and I still go, and it helps me to help other people. It's allowed me to run in a couple of babies, which I think is just this in the world. I've been looking at places where I can mess with babies, you know what I mean? Have, like babysit or something like that. But I found one place, but we had some discussions, and they said I might be distracting to the population that they deal with, so I can't do that. But he's right, helping people does help you. I have talked about the refugees a lot, but I do have a very active philanthropic life, but I just don't talk about it a lot because I think it doesn't count if you talk about it. You know what I mean? But and you need to understand, just because you know what I've done doesn't mean I've only done what you know. So just that's the 10% of information. Don't make 90% of assumptions bias. Now, another note I got from this woman. I talk about, she lost her. I call my man Big E. She calls hers Big C. She lost him, and she wrote me the longest email about gardening, and I thought it was the sweetest thing. How the opportunity is fun, and she really enjoys it and everything. And I said, well, first of all, I live in Phoenix. It's all I can do to get the grass to grow. That's number one. Number two, I don't have a green thumb. I don't have a brown thumb, even though my thumb is brown. My thumb is red, like poison. Hate that thing. My thumb is red, like poison. I can't grow nothing. I mean, nothing. Finally got the grass together after 10 years. But anyhow, the grass was his job for a while, until he wasn't here. And I just had to rip the whole thing. I mean, I had 3-4 different people reseeded. I can't grow nothing. And I did buy, when COVID was around, and COVID to kill me with the stupid tax. I kept buying stuff to do. I bought a little keyboard so I could play one song. Bought a whole keyboard so I could play one song. If I ever, I'll attach it to here if I can remember. And I bought a hydroponic plant thing, and I grew some tomatoes and some arugula. I don't know what I grew. Didn't grow very high, didn't grow very much. And then I didn't do it right, and so I had one salad out of it. So it was one $215 salad that I made. That wasn't very good. So, but my gardening is the dollhouse thing. you know? And that's the thing. And I appreciate you selling that because it might have been something I wanted to buy. There's nothing wrong with selling your pastime. But everybody gets joy out of different kinds of things, and I appreciate it because I can't grow nothing. And then, Phoenix ain't conducive to it anyway, but my thing is the dollhouse thing. And I know it's like a 12-year-old's thing, but I really do enjoy it. I feel all crazy about that as I do, and I've got some other new things coming. Not a new house, but new parts of this house, and I'm very, very excited about it. Very, very excited about it. So when I get that going, I'm going to show you. Got my house is halfway clean. I got new dollhouse stuff coming. It's a much better day. A much, much better day. And I hope you're having a good day. There was one more question I wanted to answer. I am going to do the widow's room. I was going to write you a long answer. You lost him this month. And you're tired of people telling you what you should do. I hear you. I remember, not now was not now. Feel good about not now. And I also had a banker tell me, she says, I deal with a lot of widows and you're always rushing around and everything ain't urgent because you feel so panicky. And you are in the tsunami of it. It feels like you're going to drown. It felt like I was going to drown, but I just want you to know I heard you, I saw you, I feel you, and I'm praying for you. Because all of you, I get a lot of widows on here, and I am going to start that room. It might be just a room for lonely people. The word for today, I've just decided, is ersatz. ERSATZ. If I have any brains, I'm going to be able to say, here's the word. I don't know. If nothing happens over here, then I couldn't figure it out. And I'm building this community on here. And it may not just be for widows. It might be for introverts who can't get out of the house. Because I truly believe that, connection makes a difference. That's why my coach is making me do this every day. And even though this is not a good substitute for this is real community, but for touch, for physical presence. And I think a lot of us introverts get caught stuck here. We're doing something with others, but there are pheromones and there are all kinds of things that are important that you get from physical touch and the looking and the seeing and the smelling of one another. We smell each other's pheromones, whether we know it or not. I'm not really sure what they all are, but it has to do with women's cycles syncing up and all that kind of stuff. But how did I get to there? Oh, and this is in some ways an ersatz version of that. But sometimes it's all you got, but it's not a substitute for, but it might help you get out. I'm hoping it helps me get out. I used to have, that's what Big E used to do for me. It was like, oh, nah, you ain't left the house in 5 days. Let's go. And in the beginning, I used to fight him about it. Used to argue about it. Didn't want to do it. I don't feel like it. I don't want to go. If I could leave the house, I would. I'm an adult. All of those things. But when he would make me, sometimes I'd win, sometimes he'd win. But I had enough sense to know that when I did go, I felt better. So over the years, when he'd say time to go, he'd get a little static, and then I'd go. And then after a while, time to go, I said, okay, baby, don't feel any better about it, but I knew he was right. And you ought not require your spouse to continue to have to assist you with things if you can start to help yourself. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be that he's got to argue with me to get out of the house. It was important that I figure out that he's right about getting out of the house And his only job then was just to be the trigger. And he wouldn't have to push and fight and carry on. Because I was woman enough to say, oh, yeah, he right about that. Like he said, I gotta go because he knows me and he loves me and he wants me to be okay. And I remember he was right about it in the past. Which leads me to one comment that I wasn't going to talk about, but I am. Said something about like, you're a poor husband. Because I do talk about how odd and weird and everything I had. And it's like, did he ever have any pleasure or joy? He had a great time. And he wasn't perfect. It's just that you're not going to hear about no negativity from me. It is not going to do it. He wouldn't say nothing bad about me. I ain't going to say nothing bad. I say things like he had 2 left feet, which he did. But he took those 2 left feet to dance lessons with me for 8 weeks because I like to dance. Painful, but loving, all at the same time. I feel much better today, can you tell? I hope you're well. I hope you're doing good. I know I probably didn't talk about half the things I meant to because I was supposed to have a piece of paper here with my notes on it, just out of sight, because I got so excited about my little tour of my little clean house that I forgot to put them there. But I think I remembered most of it, and what I didn't, I'll catch up on later if you're interested. But y'all have a good day. I'm going to keep my chaos contained and have a corridor of clean through the home that reaches from my master bedroom up the hall, through the kitchen, in here, and the living room and the dining room. I'm just going to let it be what it is because that's my work room. That's where I do my living. Paid in doll houses. But anyway, y'all have a good week. Hope everything works out for you. Take care.